What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for PlayPicks.com. Going to take a look at these early lines over at the New Jersey Sportsbook for Week 9 in the NFL. Going to do that at our sister site, The Lines, right here, www.thelines.com, getting you all of that good sports betting news and content out there right now. Be sure and head over to thelines.com. You'll get cool stuff like, looking ahead at the Breeders' Cup. They're going to talk about the Tiger Woods and the Phil thing, but you also get articles like this right here, this NFL Week 9 lines and NJ betting guides. We're going to click into this thing. Take a look and see how things are looking here on a Monday coming off of Week 8 on the Sunday here. Going to look at these DraftKings, FanDuel, SugarHouse, BetStars, and 888 lines is really where we're going to focus our efforts here. Guys, be sure and head to playpicks.com/bonus, bonus. You can get the very best deals at any of these sportsbook right here, or you can click on any of these up here as well on thelines.com whenever you're here. Take advantage of all that while you're here. Be sure and do that. Free money at DraftKings, free money at 888. Big bonus offers at FanDuel, SugarHouse, and BetStars. All right, Oakland Raiders and San Francisco 49ers taking place on Thursday night. That is going to be the Battle of the Bay there. The 49ers are favored at home by 3.5. That lets you know the status of this Oakland Raiders team, because this 49ers team is an absolute train wreck right now. And Oakland is a dog to this team. The interesting thing here, I guess, is the total, 47.5. I guess what we're looking at here with this Raiders team pretty much moving forward is just the fact that their defense is not very good, but they're still able to kind of get in these shootouts because they just have to throw constantly all game long. And so if they can face defenses like a San Francisco 49ers defense that does give up a little bit of points here and there, you're going to see these totals kind of creep up a little bit higher than you would think for teams that are so incredibly bad. But there's just lots of incentive for this game to just become a shootout here with two poor defenses. So pretty interesting game there. Again, taking place on Thursday night. Atlanta heading to Washington. Falcons 1.5 point favorite dogs on the road at Washington. If you take a look at this Washington team, you just don't know how they keep getting it done week in and week out. But really and truly, this defensive line and Adrian Peterson have really been playing well for this team. And if you take a look at how they're getting it done, it's kind of an old school approach. We're in a very pass happy NFL right now. And this Washington team just likes to kind of grind it out. And Adrian Peterson, man, for a guy in his 30s that is running back in the NFL, actually looks pretty good. Looks like he can still play in this league. Of course, Atlanta, you see these totals here, 48, 47.5 at DraftKings and FanDuel. What we're looking at here with an Atlanta team is just a team that is very explosive on offense and has a very bad defense. So it's kind of a trend we're going to see pretty much almost in every Atlanta game, is these high-ish type totals, even when you're playing a team like Washington that doesn't have an explosive offense, because Atlanta just really can't stop anybody. Detroit at Minnesota. Minnesota coming off that loss at home to the New Orleans Saints. They are currently 5-point favorites, that weird number kind of in the middle of nowhere right there. 51 the total in this thing. Detroit, man, did not play good against Seattle. And to give Seattle credit, actually Seattle played a good game in that game. They actually put together 4 good quarters in that game. And I've been writing off Seattle a little bit, so maybe I need to kind of reevaluate how I look at this Seattle team. They're playing better defense than I thought, and they're certainly having a little bit more offensive success than I thought as well. So I will definitely do that. One of the things we can always do is better ourselves here, and so I will not take my preconceived notion that the Seattle team is going to be absolutely terrible. So I will continue to dig deeper into the numbers there. Buffalo plays on Monday night, so we don't have this line up right now. I imagine it'll be roughly $1 billion, because Buffalo is absolutely horrible. No, seriously, it'll be double digits most likely, I guess. Even against Chicago and their low-powered offense too. Kansas City Chiefs 8-point road favorites against Cleveland. Of course, if you've been paying attention to the news today, you know Cleveland has cleaned house. They have fired Hugh Jackson, their head coach. They've also fired Todd Haley, their offensive coordinator. Greg Williams is going to take over as the interim head coach. If you're watching Hard Knocks, that's the defensive coordinator there. The guy that wears the glasses. He's going to take over. Pretty much this is the end of, we were kind of writing Cleveland off anyway with the way things are, but yeah, this is pretty much the end of the road here for this Cleveland team. Definitely a situation where I could see the Chiefs really, really getting after this Cleveland team here. That number, pretty interesting, especially the 7.5 over at FanDuel right now. This Chiefs offense is just an absolute juggernaut. Going to be real tough. That said, Tyreek Hill did have a little bit of a hamstring issue, so we'll be monitoring that. If he's not out there, I mean, that certainly changes the dynamic of this Chiefs team, because he's that guy that they always have to account for because he can blow the top off the defense. So if he's not able to be out there, certainly a different Chiefs offense. There's no doubt about that. Jets, only FanDuel has a lineup in this one that's 3 in favor of Miami at home here. Nobody wants to bet that game. You don't care about that game, so we'll continue to move on here. Pittsburgh at Baltimore. Taking a look at this Pittsburgh team who went out and absolutely destroyed the Browns team, as we thought they would. Maybe Le'Veon Bell comes back. Maybe Le'Veon Bell doesn't come back. Even if he does come back, maybe they use a roster exemption and he doesn't get to play for a couple weeks as it is anyway. And maybe between now and the time we record this and Tuesday at the trade deadline, he gets traded. Who knows? But as we sit right now, they are 3-point dogs on the road, 47.5 total here at Baltimore. Of course, Baltimore playing some really good defense and actually playing at a pretty fast pace as well. That said, they are coming off a loss to Carolina. Tampa Bay, Carolina, no line in this one except way over here. But if you guys were monitoring, Tampa did come out and say they're going to go with Fitzmagic. Fitzmagic is going to start under center after they benched Jameis Winston. His 4 interceptions this past Sunday. They went ahead and decided they're going to go with Fitzpatrick in this one. So I imagine these lines will be up fairly soon here. Houston at Denver. Houston, a dog at Denver. I know that seems very curious, but when you look at this, Denver, one of the most unique places to play. It's always been a big home field advantage to play in Denver. Typically, obviously that crowd usually gets into it a lot. Denver, not very good. That said, you're going up into altitude. You are going up into what might be inclement weather. Of course, Houston being a dome team and a warm weather team, it certainly could affect them. 47 the total in this one. Houston just getting it done. Of course, they're going to be without Will Fuller. Will Fuller, unfortunately, their receiver that takes the top off for them as well, out for the season with an ACL injury. The Chargers heading to Seattle as 1-point dogs in this one. I imagine that will not stick. I would imagine Chargers money is going to start coming in. I think people just look at this Chargers team and think that they're vastly superior to Seattle. Like I said, I'm going to do some digging in a little bit further and take a look at the Seattle team and see what I'm missing here. I mean, I understand that they're running the ball very, very well. They really want to run the ball, and they're doing it so far. This Chargers team, though, they thought maybe they would get Joey Bosa back. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to get Joey Bosa back, so certainly he would be so huge for this defense here. It looks like he still might be a couple of weeks away in this one. 48 the total, 47 it looks like at FanDuel is the total on that one. Rams in New Orleans, by far the premier game of the week. Everybody is going to watch this game. Everybody's going to be all over this game. New Orleans opens as a 1-point favorite everywhere except FanDuel. FanDuel has them has this game as a pick'em. 60 is the total in this one. Obviously expected to be some offensive fireworks. Of course, New Orleans defense has been playing subpar so far this year, though they did put in a good effort against the Vikings. And then the Rams defense as well, certainly underperforming. Not really, I mean, pretty much one of those situations where this offense has had to outscore teams in a few games so far this year because that defense is pretty leaky. That's why we're seeing a 60 total in this game, and I can totally understand it. I totally understand it here. 2 good offenses and 2 defenses that have certainly not played anywhere near where we thought they would be so far this year. Green Bay heading to New England. No total yet in this one. Of course, New England plays on Monday Night Football. 6.5-point favorites, though, coming out of this one. Of course, Green Bay played the Rams very, very tough on the road there, and would have had a chance to at least try and win that game. Of course, Ty Montgomery fumbles the ball whenever he's taking the ball out of the end zone, and there was never even a chance for that. But Aaron Rodgers continues just to play extremely, extremely well on what we can only assume is still a very banged-up knee in this one. And finally, Tennessee and Dallas. Tennessee, 41 is the total here. 6.5-point favorites for Dallas. Will be the debut of Amari Cooper, so we will see what he can do for this Dallas offense. More than anything, I think you can see what people think of this Tennessee team whenever you look at this line here. But not a game I'm going to be thoroughly wanting to watch, and certainly not a game I probably will invest any of my money in. As we mentioned, guys, this is, if you head to this page right here on thelines.com, you can find this handy little table down below. And this is really where you need to be heading if you want to sign up for any of the books over there in New Jersey. $25 absolutely free at DraftKings Sportsbook. $10 free at 888. That, again, is no deposit required. Just go in, sign up for an account. Boom, you're going to get the money. FanDuel and Sugar House, big deposit bonuses with those guys right there. $100 bonus up to $100 at FanDuel, $250 up to $250 there for Sugar House. So be sure, take advantage of those things as well. Guys, while you're here, please hit that subscribe button down below. Really trying to get these subscribers up to that 1,000 number. We really want to reach that 1,000 number, so please help us get there. Hashtag keep Matt employed. We want to keep me employed as well, so I can continue making these videos for you guys, right? I mean, you want to keep me employed. Of course you do. And once we do that, once we start getting some critical mass on this thing, we're definitely going to start doing some giveaways and different things like that, because we enjoy you, we appreciate you, and we want to let you know that we appreciate you. And use the comments down below. Let me know if you think any of these lines are off, if any of these lines strike you as odd, or if you think you have a lock of the week. Be sure and put it down below down there. All right, guys, we'll be back later in the week taking a look at some DFS stuff, taking a look at some sports betting things, taking a look at some college football picks as well with Matt Peralt, who has been red hot so far this year. So please hit that subscribe button, and they'll be right to you. See you later in the week. Hey guys, thanks for checking out this video. While you're here, hit that subscribe button right down below. Make sure you never miss a video. When you get done doing that, please head to playpicks.com/bonus for the very best deposit bonus and free money offers on the internet.